Hey guys, today I want to walk you through the exact 7-step content marketing strategy that I personally use to grow my online business. I'm going to show you what is consistently proven to work year after year because, well, just look at this growth. I'm going to explain the truth about what it really takes to achieve results like this with content marketing. I'm going to show you some real world examples so you can apply this content marketing strategy to your blog, to your YouTube channel, to your podcasts, and to your social media profiles. Before we go and examine my analytics, I do need to give you a warning because this only works if you work. You need to be consistent. It takes time and hard work, and there are no shortcuts to success. So, if you are okay with that, let me show you a side-by-side comparison of two of my YouTube channels. Now remember, this content marketing strategy works for any content format. I just happen to like making videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the Profit Copilot analytics. Okay, so this is how things have grown over the last couple of years or so, and you'll see that, well, success isn't a straight line. There's lots of ups and downs, but generally it's moving in the right direction. Now, this is the Profit Copilot YouTube channel. Let me show you something else. So let's drag in my personal YouTube channel, which I am nowhere near as active with. So you can see here, this big spike here, this was actually at the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdown, and during these few days or maybe a couple of weeks here, I was churning out a lot of content. So this tells you that in order to grow, you need to produce content on a consistent basis, and I'm not being consistent, and that's actually by design because I have this personal YouTube channel to conduct experiments, to try things out without really having a major impact on something that I consider serious like Profit Copilot. So my personal YouTube channel is all about experimenting, trying new things. Okay, so with Profit Copilot, because there is a strategy involved, I'm being consistent, you can see that there is growth. So how do I achieve this? How do I get this level of growth? And remember that this content marketing strategy can be applied to blog posts, to podcasts, to YouTube videos. It doesn't really matter as long as you are consistent. Let me show you the strategy. So step 1 of this 7-step process is to set goals. And I know that there's a lot of people who really don't want to set goals because they're afraid of failing. That's fair enough. So for that reason, the goals that you do set need to be realistic. So you make them small, you create small, almost like micro targets that are easy to hit. And then you allow those very small results to propel you forward, to give you motivation and encouragement to push you even further. So for example, on my personal YouTube channel, my goal is to hit 200 subscribers. Now I know that when we compare that to other YouTube channels, even my other channels, the thought of hitting 200 subscribers seems pretty small. But when you start with 0 and you move to 200, that is an achievement. That's something to celebrate. Set small little targets that you know that you can hit if you just put in the work. Also, you have to have a deadline. There's no point creating targets and goals unless you know when you want to achieve those results. So this will in fact help you move forward. So when you have a deadline to hit, that's going to put a little bit of pressure on you, and that's going to make sure that you actually take the action you need to hit those small goals. And success is actually built of small goals and targets that have been built on top of one another, and that's how you achieve success. So you break it down, and then you have to be able to measure the results. It's easy to do that on the internet thanks to the amazing analytics tools that we have. So we're going to talk about specific measurements in a second, but when it comes to creating those measurements, Google Analytics is probably your best friend if you run a blog. If you have YouTube, well, you've already seen that it gives you a whole wide range of analytics. Step 2 is to set KPIs. That stands for Key Performance Indicator. So we're talking things like traffic levels. So you can set that every day, every week, every month. So it could work like this. Maybe your target is to get 100 visitors a day, because out of those 100 visitors, you know that 20 will subscribe each day, and then of those, 2 will go ahead and make a purchase. So you know that if you get 100 visitors a day, you're going to make X amount every month. Step 3 is to know your audience. This is really important, and it's a step that a lot of people think they have a grasp on, but they really don't. What you need to know is, what do your audience need? What problems are they facing? What do they actually need help with right now? And why do they need that help? The why is such an important thing to know, because then you'll be able to communicate with them in a way that makes sense to them. And then because you understand their needs and why they need it, they're going to trust you, and they'll see you as the guy that they want to do business with. And then you also need to know how you can help. It's fine knowing who you want to help and why, but unless you actually know how you can help them and what qualifies you to help them more than anyone else, and that doesn't have to be a massive reason. In fact, if you have small results, small, just little achievements, that is often a bigger motivation for people to follow you, because you're not one of the big gurus, the big names that are, have these unattainable results. You're more real. You're a real person. You have actual achievable, realistic results. So more people are likely to resonate with that above, seeing Lamborghini lifestyles and all that stuff. You also need to know which keywords to use. So what are people searching on Google? We have a load of keyword research tools. We've got things like Ahrefs, which costs around $100 a month. We've got the Google Keyword Planner, which is free to use. It takes a little bit more getting used to, and you have to set up campaigns in that. That's fine. It's easy to do and it's free. Or you can use Keyword Surfer or Uber Suggest. I think there's a limit on that now, but we do have lots of options available when it comes to keyword research, and we want to get a balance between having a relatively high search volume but low competition. The best way of doing that is to choose long tail keywords. So instead of going for keywords that have just got 1 or 2 keywords, stretch it out, add 3, 4, 5, even up to 7 keywords in a long tail key phrase. Use that as a general guide, but of course you're going to come across these kind of unicorn opportunities that we don't get to see very often, and of course, go for those too. But the important takeaway from this section is to go for long tail keywords that are evergreen. So last week I did a video on Google Trends on my personal YouTube channel. I'll put a link to that somewhere for you. That'll show you how to spot evergreen keywords, because we can use keyword research tools and look at the search volume, but we also need to match that with the trends data, the Google Trends data, because that will show us if it's just a fad or if it's seasonal. So we need to make sure that there's interest in your key phrases all year round. Okay, step 4 is distribution. So distribution comes down to knowing which social channels you want to use. So to do this properly, you have to know where your target audience congregate. So are they more active in Facebook groups? Is that generally where you'll find your target audience? Do they use subreddits? Which subreddits do they use? So you will be able to plant your content out there. You'll be able to network with these people. You'll be able to deliver value. And when I talk about distribution, I don't just mean the content that you create. What we're going to do is later on, we're going to break up the content into smaller chunks. We're actually going to recycle things as well. And You don't have to go and target these groups and share big long posts or big epic pieces of content. You can even just share an image. We'll talk more about that later on. Step 5. So this is a big stumbling block for most people, and I understand why, because when it comes to generating topic ideas, most people feel like there's only so many topic ideas that they have, and then they'll run out of ideas and they'll be stuck and they'll be in a niche where they can't create content. You can create unlimited topic ideas. We'll talk more about that in a second, but for now, what I want you to do is follow along with this, take notes. I want you to write down the desires and the goals of your target audience. What do they want to achieve? Once you know what they desire, you know what kind of content they want to consume. Also, list the objections, what stops them from moving forward. What problems do they face that prevent their success or prevent their growth? Make a list of those, and then list down the steps that they need to take in order to overcome those obstacles and those objections. So trust me, you will never run out of topic ideas. We can recycle ideas over and over and over again. For example, let's say you're in the how to train a dog niche, and one of those topic ideas could be how to train a Labrador. Okay, so we can take that how to train aspect and we can swap out the dog breed. So we can have how to train a German Shepherd, or how to train a Bulldog, or how to train a Terrier. You get the idea. Or let's say you're in the how to lose weight niche. You could go with something like how to lose weight for a wedding, how to lose weight after pregnancy, how to lose weight without dieting, how to lose weight for lazy people. You get the idea. The point here is we think about specific circumstances or specific people, situations, and then we swap out the keywords, and basically a lot of the content is going to be exactly the same. I'm not saying that we use duplicate content, we rewrite it for that particular audience, but generally the steps that you take is going to be the same. So for example, the steps to lose weight for a wedding are pretty much going to be the same for after a pregnancy. Do you see how that makes sense? Okay, so once you have your content ideas figured out, it's time to choose your content format. So here, the most common one is going to be with a blog. So if you want to start blogging, choose a self-hosted WordPress website. I know that options like WordPress.com and Blogger.com and Medium seem like good solutions. They're free, easy to use, but when you're thinking long term, you really want to go with a self-hosted WordPress website. Spend the $5 a month on hosting, spend the $10 on a domain name. That's all you have to do. It's pretty easy to get set up. It's all point and click stuff. I have other videos that will show you how to do it. If you want to create videos, obviously it has to be YouTube. There are other video platforms out there, but YouTube is by far the biggest. For podcasts, it has to be iTunes and Spotify. Now, you don't have to create all of these, so just choose one format and go with whichever one you feel most comfortable with. For me, obviously, it's video. And then what we do is we take that piece of content when you're comfortable creating content on a consistent basis. We then start to repurpose the content. This is so powerful. So what I mean by that is we can take articles and convert them into videos. So you can just read your article on video, upload it to YouTube. That's another distribution channel. It's another way to grow your audience faster. Or we can take videos, extract the audio file and turn it into a podcast, upload that, and that's good to go. We can take texts from your articles, just turn them into images and share them around as memes. We can take videos and take little clips out and turn them into teasers. So, for example, I'll show you how I do it. So here on the Profit Code Pilot website, if we have a look at this blog post, all it really is a transcript of this video. All I'm doing is just talking people through how I got 1 million views on one article and that one, well, 2 million views. And all this is just the content of my video turned into a blog post. If we go up here to podcast, you'll see that all I've done is extracted the audio from my videos and uploaded them so they become podcasts. And then sometimes what I'll do is this. Let me show you. So here we have a video, and then underneath it is the podcast episode, and then we have the blog post. So we have 3 pieces of content all on one page, but each separate piece of content exists on its own platform externally. So it's all bringing more traffic and growing an audience on different platforms. Let me show you another way that I'm doing things. If we go to Instagram, you'll see that I've broken up longer videos into these smaller teaser videos. So each one of these has got hashtags that are relevant to that piece of content, and that's going out to a wider audience still. Now, while this is a good start, it really is just the beginning, because if you are serious about growing a successful and profitable business, you're going to need traffic. So I want to give you the little known traffic methods that I never share on YouTube or anywhere else. And you can get them all delivered directly to your inbox for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic. And if you found this useful, give it a thumbs up below. And if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. That's cool too. And if you want more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and click the little notifications bell so you never miss an update from me. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.